Hey, this is Professor Homa. Welcome to WD04 Format Painter, and I'll try to run through this real quick because the idea of using Format Painter is to make formatting go by very quickly, especially formatting that has to repeat. Here's our sample file, our PDF that we saw before, and you can see there's a lot of repeating formatting. There's headings in red that are right here that are larger. They have space before. They have a tab set on the right side. Then there's this formatting, the software applications that are listed underneath that basically has a right tab set. It has leaders, which are these little dots or leaders. The next formatting is general formats. Some of them have this, some of them don't, which is in blue. It's Calibri bold. It's indented even more. It's actually a ½ inch indent from where the margin is. See, this is a ½ inch indent. This is a ½ inch indent from the margin. These are also indented the same, but they have the same format as this with a leader that's preceding their right aligned tab. And then it just repeats. Then everything repeats. Some of these have general formats, some don't, but everything just repeats. So we don't want to have to go through and format this a long document one at a time. What we're going to do, and we're going to use Format Painter to help us, and eventually we'll use styles as well, but we're going to format this word processing software line, these lines, the general formats, and these two lines here. And then once we do that, we're going to use Format Painter, and we're just going to copy the formatting to the rest of our document, and it should go by real quick. We just have to, and we'll review some of the formatting for these, because these have space before. We change the character to a certain point size. We make it red. So some of the things we'll review a little bit. We'll use space before. We'll use left indents. But then when we use Format Painter, I'll show you how to use that. So I'm going to get started right away. I'll go over to Word. When you open up your document, which is WD04 Format Painter, make sure you save it with your last name, first initial. If you can't see the formatting marks, these things, your returns, turn them on by using your Show Hide button. Okay, and what we're going to do is just do the first line, and then we'll work our way down. So the first line, and on the sheet, this would actually be step number 2, where we're highlighting this line. Remember, you could put your arrow over here, and we're going to make it bold with the B button. We're going to make it red. It's showing red right here, but if you don't see it in red, if it says automatic, go down and just choose a basic red. And we're going to make it 14 point by going over here to our font. And then we're also going to give it a space before, so there's some separation. So each category has space before it. We're going to do that by going to our paragraph dialog box. We're going to open that up, and we're going to go here to space before, and I'm just going to increase that to 12 for now. And the other thing I'll need in here is I'm going to have to set a tab. So as long as I'm still in here, I'm going to hit my tab button, and I'm going to set a right tab at 6. Now this is fairly easy to do. You just type in 6. You make sure it's a right tab. So I select right here. No leaders. I hit set just to see it in the list, and then I hit OK. And that part is done. Okay, then I'm going to highlight number 3. It says highlight word through pages. I'm going to highlight down these lines here. And this one, I don't have to change the font. And the first thing I'll do here is do an indent. And you could do an indent through the paragraph dialog box launcher. And I'll put in an indent of a ½ inch, which I'll just go up here to 2. I have to put in the 5. So I'll put in a ½ inch left indent. And while I'm in here, I'm also going to go to the tabs button. And I'm also going to set a 6-inch tab, or set a tab at 6 inches on my page, and that's also going to be a right tab, except this time we're going to use a leader. Number 2 here is a dot leader. That means the dots will kind of run up to where the text is that has the tab. Then I'm going to hit set, and there it is, right leader, and I'll hit OK, and that's all formatted. All right, so I only have 2 more things to format. The general formats, we're going to make that bold. We're going to make it Calibri, which is a sans serif font, and we're going to make it blue. So I'm just going to choose a basic blue. Doesn't matter what blue. And then this one will also have a left indent. And here's another way to do a left indent. Instead of going to paragraph dialog box, you could make an indent just by doing this. Just by grabbing this bottom handle, the little box at the bottom, and move that over a ½ inch. And you can see it's a ½ inch from the margin, but only a ½ inch from the lines above it. And I'm also going to do a space before, and I'll do that right, since I have to do tabs anyway, I'll do that right from the paragraph dialog box. And this one is just 6 point space before, so I'll just leave this at 6, and then I'll go to tabs and I'll set a tab once again at 6. I'll make it a right tab. This one does not have a leader, but the one after it will. And I'll hit set, I'll hit OK, and that general formats part is done. And the very last thing I have to format are these two lines down here. Remember, this is just like these lines here, and they'll also be indented a 1/2 inch and have a right tab and also have a leader. So I'm going to go back to Word and just do that, and I'll indent them through the paragraph dialog box, and I'll just highlight this and just put in 0.25, and that's my left indent. And then I'm going to go to tabs, and I'll put in there again. It's a 6-inch tab. It's right, and it has a leader. And I'll hit set, and I'll hit OK. Oh wait, one thing I forgot, and I can see it here. I didn't indent it enough. Instead of going back in there, I could just grab this and move it over. That'll do the same thing. So that should have a 1/2 inch indent, not a 1/4 inch. Okay, so all my formatting's done. Everything for the rest of the document just repeats one of these settings, either the word processing, the software listings, the general formats, or the general formats listings, however we describe those. But what I'm going to do, I'll show you an easy way to do this. Eventually we'll use styles, but this is kind of a quick way. Is I'm just going to highlight this paragraph, and you could put your cursor in here too. I could just basically put my cursor in, and I'm going to click Format Painter. It looks like a paintbrush. You'd never think this was for formatting, but if you click this, and then the next thing that you click on is going to take that formatting, like spreadsheet software, and that takes that formatting. Now if you go click again, it's not going to do it. So the idea is you probably want to do this, do all the headings at one time. And to do this with Format Painter, first, again, here's the steps. Select the paragraph you want to copy the formatting from. This time you're going to double click Format Painter. That will let you do it multiple times. So I'm going to do this to, and you have to look at this. You have to look at your sample to see which ones they are. I know which ones they are, but they usually say software after them anyway, so I have to kind of pick them out. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to look for, I did spreadsheet software. Here's database software, and that takes that formatting. Here's desktop publishing software. Presentation software I missed. Graphics software. And on this page there's web. There's audio video. And there's computer files. So those are all the headings. So I did that by double clicking on Format Painter. Now this is important. Turn it off now, because if you go to highlight something, it's going to put that in. So I'm going to undo that. So it's very important that once you're done using Format Painter, you turn it off. Now it turned off because I just did undo, but whenever you're done doing those multiple applications of a style of formatting, go turn it off. Okay, and I'll demonstrate it when I do it this time. So I'll highlight these. You only need to highlight one of these because they all have the same style. So I'm going to double click Format Painter, and I'm going to go down and I'm going to apply it to these. Excel through OpenOffice. Okay, now here, if I wanted to turn it off for whatever reason, I could just go here and turn it off, and then it wouldn't apply it to anything else. But I do want it turned on, so I'm going to copy it again, double click, and that double clicking allows you to do it multiple, and I'm going to do it to database software. Just highlight through those and apply it, highlight through these and apply it, highlight through these. This has a general format, so I'm not going to do the general formats. All of these, all on the last couple pages. All of these. All of these. Okay, so they're all applied. So we only have two formatting kind of styles to apply. And remember, now I want to turn it off, because it's even if I hold my cursor there, I could still see the paintbrush. Turn this off, and then that allows me to start again. So I'm going to do general format. So I'm going to select this line, double click Format Painter, and I'm going to apply it to that one, and I'm going to apply it to that one, and that's all there is. Okay, and then turn it off, and then I'm going to I can use the same I'm going to highlight this one, the one that has the 1/2 inch indent, and I'm going to double click, apply it here, and apply it to these two, and I'm done. I just formatted this whole 2-page document with all these different styles by using Format Painter. And again, Format Painter is kind of a quick way to apply them. The drawback to Format Painter is that if I wanted to change the way these were, I'd have to change all of them and do it all over again. So eventually we're going to be using styles where these kind of formats will be saved, and we can go up here and then edit it in one place. But just for now, Format Painter is a very quick way to copy and apply styles that have multiple formatting and that also alternate, so that you don't have to take a lot of time doing things over and over and over. If they repeat, just do the first couple and then use Format Painter to apply them to all the rest.